A street corner, blue lights flash. A teen with tear-bright eyes says, "My mom's in special forces, call her." The officer laughs. Then a calm voice rises behind him. "No need, I'm here." The laugh cuts through the air like a cold wind. It rolls out from the officer's chest and onto the crowded sidewalk, where strangers pretend not to hear. A girl in a school jacket stands still, hands open, trying not to shake. She says her mother is in special forces. She says there has been a mix-up. The officer chuckles again, the kind of laugh that turns truth into a joke. He tells her that stories don't help, that calling for a parent won't change anything, that important people don't walk on streets like this at night. The street smells like rain and hot pavement. A bus groans by. A bag of groceries lies on its side. Apples rolling against the curb. The girl watches them spin. She swallows hard. She does not want to cry. She repeats her mother's name, her voice small but steady, as if the name itself could open a locked door. A few steps back, a man in a work coat watches. A barista on break watches. A couple with shopping bags watches. Silence gathers in small, tight circles. No one knows the girl, but everyone knows the sound of doubt when it is used as a tool. They do not see the woman turn in the corner. She moves with simple grace, like someone who learned long ago to save every extra motion for when it counts. There's a faint line near her brow, the white trace of an old scar. Her jacket is plain. Her shoes are worn. She carries a folded cap in one hand and a pressed coin in the other, thumb rubbing its edge like a calm habit. She takes in the scene in a breath. Her daughter, the officer, the crowd, the toppled groceries, the way the girl's shoulders are pulled tight around her heart. The woman, her name is Serena, stops a few feet away. She says nothing. Once in a far country, Serena woke to the smell of dust and engine oil and the dry heat that arrives before dawn. She learned to read maps by moonlight and faces by silence. She walked into rooms where plans changed 3 times in a minute and the only constant was the need to bring her team home. There were letters she wrote and never sent, folded beside failed rations. There were phone calls cut short by static. There was a photograph of her daughter tucked into a pocket over her heart, the paper soft from being touched. She lost a friend on a night when the stars were too bright. She promised herself that if she ever earned her way back to her child, she would be present for all the small things. Science projects, late night talks, the way the morning light makes a kitchen feel safe. In those years, the air tasted like metal sometimes. Sand would cling to her lips, and the hum of a generator would become a lullaby. She learned that fear can sit in your chest like a fist, and still you can move. She learned that strength is quiet, like steady breath. She learned to carry sorrow with honor, and to set it down when she stepped through her front door so her daughter would not have to carry it too. Now, on a city sidewalk, Serena watches the officer. The coin in her hand is a challenge coin from a unit that rarely speaks its name. The cap is from a ceremony few saw. She does not wear rank on her sleeve. She wears it in how she stands, feet set, gaze calm, breath slow. The officer tells the girl that stories are for movies. He smiles to the crowd as if to share the joke. No one answers. A thin hush spreads. The man in the work coat looks down. The barista holds her cup with both hands. The couple with shopping bags stops whispering. Serena steps closer. The girl's head turns like a sunflower finding light. Her eyes fill with relief so fast it feels like a shout. Serena gives her a quick nod. "Steady, I have you," and then faces the officer. She places her coin in her pocket. She keeps her voice level and low. The officer asks for proof. He says anyone can claim anything. Serena nods. She understands. She asks for the supervisor. No anger, no raised tone. Only the calm of someone who has walked through worse nights. The request hangs there, simple and firm. The officer scoffs and touches his radio, but before he can speak, the man in a work coat steps forward. His hands are rough from years of labor. He clears his throat, a modest sound, and says he served once. He does not say where. He does not need to. He looks at Serena and sees the way she holds herself, the quiet weight in her eyes. He places the hand over his heart, not as a salute, but as recognition. A small shift ripples through the crowd. The barista presses her lips together and nods. The couple sets down their bags. The silence changes from passive to present. Serena shows a worn wallet card, one that means little to most and a lot to a few. She does not thrust it forward. She lets it be seen. She speaks the supervisor's name, the one she learned long ago never to use unless it mattered. She speaks it with care. The officer frowns, then radios in a request. Casual at first, then with more care when the voice on the other end changes. A pause, another voice joins the line. The wind softens. The city seems to lean in. The patrol SUV pulls up. A senior officer steps out, eyes trained, posture precise. He walks over and stops with a straight back. He knows the name Serena gave. He knows the coin. He knows the quiet. He looks at the girl first and says gently that she is safe. Then he looks at Serena with the small nod that passes between people who have kept hard promises. No speech rises, no argument wins. The shift happens in the space between breaths. The laughing officer's face loosens, color drains. He understands that he stood too high on a joke that cost someone else their dignity. He reaches for words that will not heal and lets them fall. Serena rests a hand on her daughter's shoulder. The girl breathes out, heavy and sweet like the first air after a storm. She presses her cheek to her mother's sleeve. The crowd stands in a deeper quiet now, the kind that feels like a room where someone important just walked in. Serena speaks at last, not for pride, not for show. Real strength is calm. The words are simple and soft, but they land like a stone in a still pond. She meets the officer's eyes. Respect is not asked for, she says. It is earned and returned. There is no anger in it, only truth. The senior officer turns to his team. He offers a clear apology to the girl. He picks up the fallen apples himself and sets them back in the bag. A small act, but a visible one. The barista steps forward and offers the girl a warm cup. The man in the work coat dips his head again, and this time others follow, not as a salute to rank, but as a bow to restraint. Word moves down the block without shouting. A mother and child leave together. The senior officer thanks Serena for her service, but the words are only a bridge to the deeper message. We see you. We will do better. Serena looks at her daughter. Silence is not weakness, she says quietly. It's discipline. The girl holds those words like a gift. As they walk away, the city seems softer. People lift their eyes. The officer who laughed watches them go, lesson heavy in his chest. The crowd does not taunt him. They do not clap. They let the moment stand on its own. Sometimes justice looks like a siren. Tonight it looks like a nod, a returned bag of apples, and a path cleared by quiet honor. Later, when the door closes on their small kitchen and the night settles, the girl will ask if her mother is tired. Serena will smile and say she is fine. She will slice an apple. She will pour tea. She will be home. And that will be the point. There are battles no one sees. There are names never spoken aloud. There's a kind of power that does not shout. It simply arrives, stands firm, and makes room for what is right. If this story moved you, share where you're watching from and tell what part stayed with you. Add your voice below with grace. Subscribe for more true-hearted stories that honor silent strength, quiet service, and the people who carry both with care.